Hello everyone, welcome to the part 1 of module 5 cables and suspension bridges C202 structural analysis 1. So let's go into the introduction of cables and suspension bridges. So cables are used as temporary guys during the erection and as permanent guys for supporting masts and towers. Cables are also used in suspension bridges, and a cable is a flexible structural component that offers no resistance when compressed or bent in a curved shape. It can support only tensile loading. They are used in engineering structures for support and to transmit load from one point to another when used to support suspension roofs, bridges, etc. In analysis of cables, the weight of the cable itself is rejected, and we assume that the cable is flexible and inextensible. That means the length of the cable remains the same before and after loading. Okay. So this is the image for a suspension bridge, and these are the cables and these are the suspenders or hangers of the bridges. Okay. Now, being inextensible, the cable has constant length before and after the load is applied. As a result, once a load is applied, the geometry of the cable remains fixed. Suspension bridge consists of two cables with a number of suspenders or hangers which support the roadway. So, cable is supported by towers. Now, to reduce the bending moment in towers, the anchor cables are provided. The central dip or sag of the cable varies from 1/10th to 1/15th of the span. The cables will be paved over a guided pulley support or roller support. In the case of pedestrian suspension bridges, suspenders support the roadway directly. For heavy traffic and large spans, stiffening girders are provided to support the roadway. Since the number of suspenders are very large, the load on the cable may be taken as UDL. Since steel is an efficient material in resisting tension, it can be used as cables in suspension bridges and are very economical for large spans. And the suspension bridges of span 200 meter to 300 meter are commonly built. Below the suspenders. Okay. Now, equilibrium of a cable. For the analysis of cable under suspension bridges, we need to understand the equilibrium of a cable. And we know that the cable is flexible and it cannot resist bending moment. That means when loaded, it deflects so that the bending moment at any point on the cable is 0. This is the thing that we are going to analyze. That is a bending moment at any point on the cable is 0, and this is achieved by developing horizontal thrust. That means the horizontal thrust which is acting outwards, and the support this developing appropriate deflection. Okay. Here also you can see the vertical reaction VA, and here also VB. So VA into X is the reaction. So minus H into Y plus VA into X minus W1 into x minus a1 minus w2 into x minus a2 is equal to 0. Now retain hy here so that equation will become va into x minus w1 into x minus a1 minus w2 into x minus a2, which this term represents a bending moment or moment of the beam at the section x. So h into y will give the bending moment of the beam at the section. Correspondingly, if you have to find any deflection, just take the horizontal thrust, and the deflection at that point is equal to moment at that point. Or simply we can written as h into y1, that is horizontal thrust of the beam, into y1 minus m1 is equal to 0. Okay, for the point 1. Thus, considering any segment of the cable and using the above equation along with the usual equations, a loaded cable can be analyzed. That means the usual equations means the conditions of equilibrium. That is sigma Fi equal to 0 and sigma Ma equal to 0. Okay, found. Here in this figure, you can see this is the angle theta 1 and this is the same angle theta 1. And this is the angle theta 2. That means the tension T2 mates with the horizontal. Now theta 3 is the angle made by the tension 3 with horizontal. And theta 4 is the angle made by the tension 4 with the horizontal. Okay, this figure. So this is the length of the cable. So how will you get this? By taking cos theta 1. What is cos theta 1? It is adjacent side by hypotenuse, either by cos theta or by taking sin theta or by taking tan theta. Sorry, by taking cos theta sin theta, you of the cable. That means the length of the cable is equal to 5 divided by cos theta 1 plus 5 divided by cos theta 2 plus 5 divided by cos theta 3 plus 5 divided by cos theta 4, and the total is equal to 20.117 meters. So this is the length of the cable. Okay, and we can solve this problem by another method, and the first two steps are same, that is sigma ma equal to 0 and sigma fi equal to 0. You will get va and vb, and the second for that for the second step we need to find out all the deflections y1 y2 and y3 y4, and from that find h and h is equal to 312.5, and you got y1 y2 y3. Now the next step is to find out the tensions in different parts of the cable and also the thetas, different angles of the tension with the horizontal. Okay, for that consider a force polygon as below. That means we have to construct a force polygon, and on which first draw the lines PQ, QR and RS continuously. There, so this is the figure. P to Q is the external load W1 40 kilonewton. Then Q to R is the next external load W2, that is 30 kilonewton, and R to S is the last external load, that is 20 kilonewton. And after getting the points P, Q, R and S, start from the point P, draw PM, that is a vertical reaction at A, that is 50 kilonewton to some scales. All these drawings are to be taken in some scales and the scales should be uniform. Okay. Now PM is equal to the vertical reaction at A and it is 50 kilonewton. So from M, draw a horizontal line to the point O, and this length is the horizontal thrust offered by the cable. Okay, now you got the line PS, and from the point M draw a horizontal line which represents the horizontal thrust. Okay, now join PO, QO, RO and SO, and these will represent the tensions in the cable, that is T1, T2, T3 and T4. Okay, how will you find this T1 from this triangle POM? So T1 is nothing but the hypotenuse of the triangle POM, and it is nothing but square root of this PM square plus H square, that is 50 square plus 312.5 square. Okay, to get T2, consider the triangle QOM. From that T2 is equal to square root of QM square plus OM square. Okay, from that you got T2 is equal to 312.65 kilonewton. Now what about this T3? By considering the triangle ROM, you will get T3 and similarly find out the value of tension T4. Now we have to find out the length of the cable. For that we have to find each angles with the horizontal. That is theta 1 is the angle made by the tension with the horizontal. That means the angle POM. Okay, that is the angle theta 1, and theta 2 is the angle QOM, and theta 3 is the angle ROM, and theta 4 is the angle SOM. Okay, now what is theta 1? Theta 1 is equal to tan inverse of PM divided by OM. Just take tan of angle theta 1, and from that theta 1 is equal to 9.09 and theta 2 equal to 1.83 and theta 3 equal to 3.662 and theta 4 is equal to 7.294. Okay. So you got all the theta 1s and thetas, and just by taking 5 divided by cos theta 1 plus 5 divided by cos theta 2 plus 5 divided by cos theta 3 plus 5 divided by cos theta 4 is the length of the cable. And on this equation, these 5's are the spans of the corresponding cable sections. Okay. Angle made by this tension with the horizontal. So how will you get this? By simply considering sine theta, or we got the value of tension as 130.97, or you can find the tension by this Lamis theorem, and you got it as 130 by cos theta 2. That means every length is 10 meters. So 10 divided by cos theta 1 plus 10 divided by cos theta plus 10 divided by cos theta 3 plus 10 divided by cos theta 4 plus 10 divided by cos theta 5. Okay, so summation of this will give the length of the cable. Okay, hope you all understood this problem, and thank you for watching. Thank you.